How did you feel before the war?
What respect? I mean, we didn't even think a war was coming. No way. There's no indication. No war whatsoever.
And what did you think?
How did you feel when the war started?
Well, it was unbelievable because the Japanese bombed us without no warning. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
God, I just could not believe it.
So, what was it like?
So, what were you doing at home before the war?
Oh, before the war, I worked in, you probably heard of Pratt & Whitney, where they build aircraft engines.
Yes.
Yeah.
I worked at that company for, it's 15 months, I guess. That's where I was working before I enlisted.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful place to work. And after the war was over, I went back there, and I stayed there almost 40 years.
So you were like a Marine during World War II?
Yeah, I didn't see combat. The closest I ever see combat was when I went from boot camp, South Carolina, to Virginia, Norfolk, and we took the boat to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And on the way down, you could see in the distance these freighters being sunk by the German submarines.
Yeah.
But we were escorted by destroyers, so we didn't have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
That's the closest I ever seen combat.
So, one question is, tell me about like a particular story or people who are relatives or friends that maybe died during the war.
Oh yes, one of my best friends that got me to go to Pratt & Whitney died. He died 1 month after the war was over in Germany. He was in a Jeep, and they hit a landmine, and he was killed. See, when I got out of boot camp, they wanted volunteers for his amphibious tank. But you had to have experience in truck driving, and I didn't. The guy behind me said he did, and he was killed in Tarawa later on. So if I had lied and said, I'd probably get killed too. My experience in Cuba, because I had a good time down there. I spent almost a little over 3 years down there. And we used to go on Liberty to Guantanamo City, Santiago, is where the, was it Rough Riders? Remember reading about the Rough Riders?
Yeah,
Teddy
Roosevelt.
Yeah, I see the hill where he marched up, everything. That was, to me, it was exciting. And I never did learn to speak Spanish. I could have, because that's all they spoke down there. The only thing I remember is, "Que pasa, amigo?" That means, "How you doing, friend?"
Yeah. Actually, how old were you during the war?
I went into the service about 19. I think it was 19.
Okay.
What training did you get?
Well, I got infantry training, learning how to march and bivouac and all that.
What supplies were you given?
Pardon?
What supplies? Like gear?
Was I can?
What supplies did you get?
Oh, well, supplies that we would need. We had what they call a duffel bag. We had to keep all the clothing in a duffel bag when we moved.
Yeah.
Clothing, everything.
Bring with you.
When? To go to Cuba or what?
To go to Cuba.
Oh, just duffel bag, that's all. And we had a rifle.
It's just a rifle,
Yep.
food, and clothes.
And the clothes, that's all.
Yeah. So, what were your living conditions like in Cuba?
Very good. We lived in tents, but being young, we didn't mind that. I wouldn't do it now. And we lived in barracks. We had wonderful barracks. And then we had a nice swimming pool next door. Oh, we had it made.
Yeah. Important, in your opinion, for people to know about World War II and history?
Well, they should know all about what happened. If they didn't know what happened, they wouldn't know what to expect later on.
Yeah.